I just wanna hold you, baby, you the one I want. I know I've said.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing being a side chick. Yes, I know. I think we've all probably been there, not intentionally, but sometimes you'll be dating somebody and find out that they're married, or they have a girlfriend, or something along those lines. Okay, so today I'm gonna be giving my thoughts and opinions on this and sharing my own personal story about going through this and how I became a side chick accidentally, and my thoughts and opinions on it and my advice to you. One girl specifically asked me about what do you do whenever you're dating somebody and you find out that they're in another relationship, okay? And you know, a lot of people end up like hating on girls and being like, oh, they're like a side chick and they're okay with having a boyfriend that is dating someone else. But that's not the truth, okay? A lot of times what happens, and this has happened to me before. One time I dated this guy and he was extremely nice. This guy would bring me flowers all the time. He would open the car door for me. He was an absolute gentleman, okay? He would bring me coffee, like you name it, okay? He did everything that was so nice and perfect. And me and this guy dated for several months. And I met his family and so here's the thing. I dated this guy, okay? And I was really in love with this guy. And then I found out that he was in a relationship with somebody else. He had somebody else living with him and everything. And I mean, I'm sure that they were having problems, you know? I mean, whenever I found out and confronted him about it, he told me he was trying to leave her. He said that, you know, she just wouldn't leave. They aren't happy together. Like, he was like, I'm so in love with you. I only want to be with you, and I'm going to get rid of her. Like he really tried to convince me to stay with him because he was going to get rid of her, okay? And me in my head, I tried to justify it, and I think that's what a lot of girls do is, you know, whenever the guy's caught, he had tried to convince me that he was not happy with her. He was going to leave her, okay? And I really, really wanted to believe that, okay? And I did believe it. And like I would be with him and she would call his phone and he would answer it and talk to her like right in front of me, and I would just, you know, be quiet. Even though time and time again he would be like, oh, she knows that I'm seeing you and I'm not hiding it from her. If she asks me, I'll say yes, I've been seeing you for a long time and I'm in love with her and all of these things. I mean, he was really trying to convince me that they were over and done, and I wanted to believe that. But then it's like I started to realize after about 6 months, you know, of dating this guy, after I found out he had a girlfriend, and he tried to blame it on me. We got in an argument about it, and he was like, nobody forced you to date me. Like, you knew her and I were together whenever you got into this. Like, but I didn't. You were telling me that you all were in a bad spot, you all were breaking up, like all of these things. You know, so yeah, I mean, I did initially find out and I knew about it, but at the same time, he was trying to convince me that they were splitting up, they were going to break up, and that's the only reason I stayed. And he tried to turn it around on me and say, oh, but you knew we were in a relationship, so don't sit there and act like you don't want to be this girl, okay? Like, whenever we got in this argument, I was like, I do not want to be this girl. I do not want to be the girl that comes in between two people's relationship, okay? Like, I don't want to be the other girl. Like, who does? Who wants to be that, you know? And I was like, one day, if you and her ever split up, then you can let me know, you know? And he completely turned that around on me, telling me that, like, oh, don't say that you don't want to hurt nobody and you don't want to be this girl, because for the past few months you've known that she and I were together and you've been right here. Like, you take that chance every time we go out, every time we meet and things. But that's not fair because he misled me. You get what I'm saying? So it's really hard, because then if you put up with things like that, you're opening yourself up to be treated that way. And if you continue to date a guy who is in a relationship with somebody else, I mean, thank God he wasn't married, but he might as well been. They've been together for like 8 or 9 years, you know, I mean. But if you continue to put up with that, you're basically lying to yourself. You're like waiting for them to choose you, you know, like that's what I was doing. I was waiting for him to choose me, you know, and you shouldn't have to wait for somebody to choose you, okay? Because you are special, you are unique, you are important, and, you know, you should never be somebody's, like, second option. You should never be on the back burner from somebody, okay? You should always be number one, most important, and they should be ready to commit to you, you know? No guy should be doing. You're in this situation and you are dating somebody and you find out that they're married or they're in a relationship with somebody else, you know, then I honestly think that you should not wait. I don't think that you should continue to be in that situation unless you expect nothing more, okay? Like, everybody has their own preferences for whenever they're dating somebody, but in my opinion, okay, if you just want to be a side chick, then that's fine. If you just want to be somebody that he sees every now and then and has fun with, and you're on the back burner and you're like his second option, you know, and you're okay with that, then by all means, that is fine, okay? More power to you, and that's okay as long as you're okay with it, he's okay with it. You are like me, and you are looking out for the bigger picture, and you have fallen in love with this guy, and you want to have a future with this guy, have a family with this guy, marry this guy one day, and you find out he's in another relationship or he's married and he tells you that they're splitting up or whatever. Unless you've talked to the girl and you know that there's nothing there and they really are splitting up, then I feel like you're wasting your time, and I feel like you're opening up yourself to get hurt and for heartbreak, because I have been there, I have done this, and I know how hard it is. I know how much you argue with yourself and your mind and your heart, and you love this person, and you don't want to be mean to them, you don't want to lose them. You might even convince yourself that you would rather be a side chick than not see him at all, okay? Because I went through that stage, you know? I went through the stage where I was like, well, you know, at least I get to see him sometimes, at least, you know? But then, I feel like I feel like they devalue you, okay? I feel like they're never going to respect you, because I feel like in their head, they're sitting there thinking, okay, I can have her anytime I want her. Clearly, I can cheat on her. Clearly, she doesn't care if I'm sleeping with other people. You know what I mean? I feel like that just... I don't know. I feel like it makes guys think they have the right to treat you that way and do you that way whenever they don't. Like, so I feel like if you don't put your foot down and set boundaries on things you will put up with in a relationship, I feel like it's never going to change, okay? It's that way with anything. If you continuously let somebody cheat on you and sleep with other people, they're going to continuously do it, you know? And they're going to throw it in your face, and they're going to say, you know, you put up with it, you knew this, you knew I was doing this, you know? And there's so many people out there in the world that you never know who you're gonna meet, okay? So try not to get so upset over one heartbreak, because everything happens for a reason, okay? And I know that that's easier said than done, trust me, because when I was going through this, I was so heartbroken, crying, and I didn't know what to do because, you know, I was so hurt, and this person made me so incredibly happy whenever we were together that I was willing to go through anything to be with this person. Like, I was. I told him that, I expressed that to him, and I feel like he took advantage of that. He did. And I was willing to look past all of his faults and all of his problems and be with him and work through it, you know, because I loved him. And he was too busy counting my flaws and looking at my flaws and like finding reasons that are, finding things that are wrong with me and telling me all the reasons will never work. When if you're in love with somebody, truly in love, there could be 1,000 reasons you won't work, but you find one reason that you will, and you hold on to that. Yeah, so this will probably be one of the most down videos I've put on my channel, but I've had quite a few people message me asking me for advice on this, like what would I do? And I've been there. Like, I have been there, and it was really hard, you know, and I would question myself all the time. Did I make the right choice? Like, you know, what if? But I felt like I was getting hurt more. I was experiencing more pain than I was happiness, because the happiness was only when we were together. When we were apart, it was hell. I was constantly wondering what he was doing, where he was at, waiting for a text, you know, like, and it's not worth it to put yourself through that. Final advice to you all, anybody out there going through this, is think clearly, okay? Don't make decisions and put up with things without really thinking about it, okay? Before you text him, I had to do this too. And you have to really sit down and think, okay? Like, what do I want to put up with, okay? If he never leaves his girlfriend, if he never leaves his wife, am I okay continuing to be on the back burner and be the side chick? Am I okay with that? If you're okay with that, then that's fine. But if you want to have a future with this person and you're in love with this person, then I feel like you need to put your foot down, because if you continue to let it go on and you want something more, it's going to hurt so much more. It's going to hurt so much more whenever it doesn't happen and you continue to go down this. And then look at all that time that you wasted with this person, waiting on this person, all the tears and emotions and feelings and every single bit of that, when you could have been out there finding your Prince Charming. You could have been out there going out, doing all of these things, and found somebody who was crazy head over heels for you, that's ready to conquer the world with you, okay? Because everybody has somebody, and you will find true love out there, and you don't deserve to be treated any less than perfect whenever you're in a relationship. You deserve to be treated with the utmost respect and loved, okay? You don't deserve to be anybody's back burner or second option or anything like that, okay? So you make the decision about what you want. I love you guys so much. If you have any other questions, dating questions, friend questions, school questions, anything like that, you can always DM them to me on Instagram. Right there's my Instagram. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video just like this one. That's all I have for you guys today. I will see you in my next video.